Welcome to Master the Game. Today we are talking about what is a tabletop RPG. So for those of you out there who are beginners, or maybe you are an experienced DM who's just looking for a video to refer your new players to, this is a great place to start. A tabletop RPG is just playing pretend like when we were kids. A player typically controls one character unless they're the DM or the GM. Together, the players and the GM tell a story using dice for all conflict resolution. The randomness of the dice is what makes it a game. So let's break it down a little bit. It's a collaborative story that uses simulation type mechanics for a cooperative, creative, improv game. Most games have a GM or a DM. The GM stands for a game master or a dungeon master if you're playing D&D. Those are the two terms you'll hear more than any others, so we'll just stick with those two for now. The role of the GM or the DM is to be a judge, a referee, or the narrator of the story. That doesn't mean they're solely in possession of the story. However, they do dictate what can and can't happen by the rules of the setting. Every player has their own character that's called a player character. Now, the DM or the GM will have more than one character that they control, and those are called NPCs, or non-player characters. That could be the barkeep, that could be the bandits down by the river, it could be everybody that the players come into contact with. This also includes monsters, deities, and anything else that the game might present. When the players and the GM decide to sit down and play a game, that one day is called a session. Now, a session could be a single adventure, or it could be a small portion of an adventure. An adventure is a single quest. Many campaigns are made up of multiple adventures and can span for many years. Campaign is the main story arc. Think of a book where an adventure would be the chapters and the campaign would be the full book. When playing a tabletop RPG, there's many ways to resolve conflicts. Most of them are using dice. Now, you're going to see references to D4, D6, D8, D10, D12, D20, and percentiles. So I'm just going to show you real quick what those are. A D4 is a four-sided die, just like this. A D6 is a six-sided die, just like this. And you see it has the underscore on the 6. If I can just get it to focus. That's about as good as that'll get. All right, so there's the D6. Here is the D8. It's an 8-sided die. You then have a D10, which a D10 will have a 6 and a 9 on it, denoted by the underscore under what it is. So that's the 6. And if I flip it upside down, that is the 9. It's actually labeled 1 through 0. 0 would be the 10. The percentiles, which typically go with the D10, are like this. Some games don't use percentiles, and some use percentiles heavily. You also have a D12, just like this. So I love D12s. They're just not used as much in most systems. And then you have a D20. D20 is typically a to-hit die. But beyond that, it's not really used for anything other than that. It's not usually used for damage. So those are the dice you use. Some games will use the D20, like I said, that'll be like your to hit. Some games will use the percentile to hit. There are games that use 2 D10s. There's games that only use the die 6s. There's dice pool games, all sorts of different types of games. But right now, all you need to know is those are the different types of dice. There's a few others, like there's 30-sided dice, and there's some other dice, but they're not real common, and they're usually game-specific. There are many ways to play a tabletop RPG, one of which is in person. This could be at your house, at a local store, library, gaming convention. You can also play online, such as through Roll20 or Fantasy Grounds, using Google Hangouts, Skype, Zoom, Twitch, all sorts of different ways to do that. It's really easy to get started in tabletop RPGs, with being able to go to local gaming stores and learn from people who have played for years, finding people online using Roll20 or any RPG game finders. There's apps for the phone, which I'll put some links below to an app, or a couple apps and a couple places that you can go to find players. But there's also many ways, like I said, through the internet, through in-person posting stuff on Craigslist, if you want, Facebook, reaching out to someone on Twitter. And there's a lot of people out there who are willing to help others get into the hobby as well. So it's a really accessible hobby. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I will happily answer any and all questions. I'm going to do more videos like this. In fact, this is my Intro to RPG series, and I hope you'll check out more. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, click subscribe. I'd love to have you around for more. And yeah, again, let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you very much, guys. This is Master the Game. I am Juice. Get your game on.